Hey, so today we're going to be reading this book called Our Tree Named Steve. And sometimes I buy books because I really like the illustrator. And this illustrator is David Catrow. He does a lot of the poems that we've done before, like I've been cleaning up my bedroom and all of those Christmas poems that we've done. If you're in Miss Fortman's class, the author is Alan Zweibel. But this book, I haven't read it in a long time. But I love it, and I just saw it on my shelf and wanted to read it to you guys. I love it because it really shows like how something that we might take for granted, like a tree, can actually be one of the most special things in our life. Here we go. Our Tree Named Steve. Dear kids, a long time ago, when you were little, Mom and I took you to where we wanted to build a house for us to live in. But in order to build there, men had to come clear the land. So you can see there's trees all over the place. I remember there was one tree, however, that the three of you couldn't stop staring at. Adam thought it was crying, Lindsay said it looked nervous, and Sari, who was the only 2 years old, couldn't pronounce the word tree, called it Steve. I love you, Steve, she kept saying. And then Adam and Lindsay started saying it. And before long, Mom and I got the hint and asked the builder to please save Steve. The day we moved in, Steve was there to greet us. A brand new house. He quickly worked his way into your lives as a swing holder, a target, third base, hiding place, and a jump rope turner. And whenever our dryer broke down, he held our underwear with pride. You can see all their clothes hanging in his branches to dry. Yes, right there in the center of our yard, this weird-looking tree grew to become the center of our outdoor life. Through all our barbecues, campouts, dance parties. Or when Adam and Lindsay started getting crushes on Simon's kids next door, Steve adjusted to our every need. And it wasn't always easy, standing tall through snowstorms in the winter, or when Uncle Chester napped in the hammock. It couldn't possibly have been fun. Not to mention the time that the sewer overflowed and Steve sucked up all the smelly water before it drowned Kirby. Phew. Then got so sick himself that the tree doctor had to give Steve a haircut that made him look like a big thumb. Through the years, Mom and I have tried to show you, in a world filled with strangers, that peace comes with having things you can count on and a safe place to return after a hard day or a long trip. Which brings me to the point of this letter. Last week, a storm hit our area. And though we spared Steve's life long ago, this time, we couldn't save him. Are we sad? Sure we are. But even in his final moments, when he could have fallen on our house, Sari's swings, Kirby's house, or Mom's garden, Steve performed his last trick and protected all of us to the very end. And friends like this are hard to find. Oh, it makes me sad. So when you come home from Grandma's next week, Steve will not be able to greet you as he's done in the past. I'm sorry. But please know that Steve will always be with us in our hearts and in our thoughts. and in a different tree at the other end of our yard. See you next week. Love, Dad. Whew, that book was sad. I forgot how sad it was. I remembered, but man, reading it gets me a little emotional. So, I think the lesson of this book, if you guys have been thinking about it, I think it is to not take the people in our lives or the things in our lives for granted. We're very blessed. So make sure you tell your family members, your friends, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, make sure you tell them you love them today. Take that time. That would be something pretty good, especially since we've all been apart for so long. It might be good to reconnect with some people. So hope you guys have a good day. I miss you guys. Talk to you later.